Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Motive Racing Channel for some more action here tonight in the GT3 Super League. We are here, still in Japan for this series. We were at Suzuka last week, otherwise known as Sakita on Project Cars 2, but we're at hosted the Japanese Grand Prix a couple of times in history over the last few years, but not for a while actually. I'm joined in the commentary box once again by Mr. Dan Davis. Welcome along, Dan.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Andy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Japan again, Fuji race circuit. I really dislike this circuit, so the boys out on track. Got a handful on tonight, but we should see how they do. It's a night race by the looks of things, so, and is it dry as well? So should be a good race tonight, I think.
We've got dry weather scheduled for the moment, but I'm not quite sure about later on. But certainly this qualifying session is going to be a test for these guys to see what sort of lap times they can get in. The night is falling here, so the track temperature will be getting a little bit colder as it goes on. I'm sure they're going to be wanting to get out on the track as soon as possible and get some lap times in there. But currently we've got a bit of background story coming into this one. We've got the championship leader BT Targa currently goes into this one with a 50-point lead in the championship. Now it's 35 points for a win. We have 2 races per round, so every round is 70 points on the board. So with 2 rounds left to go, there's 140 points left on the table. If BT Targa can lead this round with 73 points of a lead over Rompu, then he will have already wrapped up the championship before next week's final round at Circuit of the Americas. So BT Targa stands on the cusp at the moment of making Motive Racing history and becoming the first driver, the second driver, I do apologise. He'd become the second driver in Motive Racing history to wrap up the GT3 League here on Project Cars 2 with a round to spare. The last one being Timonovsky last season, actually, in Season 4. So could BT Targa do it, Dan? What do we reckon for tonight? What's your bets on?
Well, as long as he has some nice clean races, it looks like nothing can stop him from taking the title tonight. I think he's just got to stay consistent. He's pretty much got the title in hand. He just needs to make sure he stays out of trouble. But this gives opportunity for new drivers to try and take race wins. We know BT Targa will be trying to be as safe as possible, but anything can happen. Did you say it's Rompu who's the closest contender?
Yeah, it's Rompu sat in second in the championship. Sebastefano, who's in third, I think is withdrawn from the championship. So
okay, so yeah, Rompu needs to have a very good night and show what he can do in that Ferrari. But as it stands, it looks like BT will go through to take the championship. But like I said, anything can happen, and we know there's a bunch of guys in here that's quick enough to take race wins. We've got the likes of Gary, Emo Guy, Fury, Ugbar, BT Targa, Maze Gamer. All these guys can still take the race wins, so BT has to be careful out there.
He absolutely does. It's definitely not going to be an easy walkover for him. Got Fury out on the track as well, driving in the Lamborghini, the 666 black and red livery. Now we've heard rumours that Fury's intending to switch teams next season for the GT3s. He's not really enjoying the Lamborghini as much as he was. He races in the Nissan GTR over at Simplay. I don't know whether he's intending to change into the Ferrari for the GT3s here in Motive or not. I've heard rumours he's intending to do so for another series. So this man's currently still yet to set a lap time here in this session. He's had a reasonably decent season though, Dan Fury. He tends to go well in the sprint races, always makes flying starts, but ultimately consistency I think has been the main pitfall of this man so far.
Yeah, I think that the Fury he's very good in the sprint races. He gets frustrated quite quickly, and with racing in this kind of setup, you really do have to be quite patient, especially here around Fuji. You've got the fast long straights, and the first half of the sector is quite easy, but when you get to the last half of the sector, patience is really key, so he'll need to keep his head straight. And I know Fury can be quick, so we'll see how he gets on. I know his granddad's here supporting him. Who else we got in the chat? We got Smurfy, Evening Smurfy. We got Champ here as well, and he confirms as well that this track is horrible. I'm not the only one. And we've also got Simplay Motorsports. Evening to you there, Simplay Motorsports as well, which I believe will be Matt, if I'm right.
Matthew Duffin there, our touring car and Clio Cup commentator. Welcome along, Matt. Good to have you in the comments. Guys, if you like what you see at Hero Motive, also make sure you check out Simplay Motorsport. Drop a subscription on their channel as well, guys. They run leagues on Wednesday and Thursday nights. They have a GT3 series. They run their Pro-Am series, which is their second division, on Wednesday night, followed by their top division, the Premier League of Simplay Motorsport, runs on Thursday. So yeah, guys, if you like what you see here, make sure you check that out, because they run very, very similar types of races to what we see here. Some of the team's fastest racers on the PlayStation 4 platform. So 100% check that out. Also, my man Dan races in that one as well, so he gets to jump out of the commentary box and show what he can do out on the track. And Dan, I also want to talk to you about your driving skills as well, because obviously tonight you're set to be racing in the LMP2s, which is at Sonoma. Not really a great track for the LMP2s, but
no. I've already been doing a bit of testing and practice, and yeah, Sonoma is going to be a patient game. Very much patience. It should be interesting, and the likes of Ben Parkey, Champ, and Ugbar are going to be giving me a run for my money, so I feel like the championship's slipping, because I know Ben Parkey's catching me, but I've got to keep my head down and just keep going. I feel confident around Simona, but we should see how that pans out. If you want to see chaos, make sure you stick to LMP2, because I reckon there's going to be a lot of spins and crashes. Just pre-warning. But tonight, at the minute, right now, we're focusing on GT3 and what's going out on track, and we've got Maze Gamer currently sat on pole position in front of BT Tiger and Gary 131. So those three are setting the pace at the minute.
One thing I really want to shout out about is Gary, because he's come into this GT3 league here at Motive. We haven't really seen much of him. He hasn't raced in our GT3s at any point ever before, and he's currently up there doing a really great job. He's sat in third place at the moment as he gets a little bit sideways there in that AMG, but keeps it together for the time being. But yeah, fantastic job on his debut here in the GT3s at Motive tonight, Gary, and we know that he's got the pace in the GT3s from his exploits over at Simplay. We know he's leading the championship in their Pro Series there, so he's come into this with a reputation to uphold, and he's currently doing so very nicely here. See what he can do as he comes out onto the pit straight. He's currently sat 1.4 seconds off of that top time being set by Maze Gamer. Let's see if he can improve and maybe get himself up into onto the front row, possibly here in this session. He crosses over the line now, and it is going to be not an improvement for Gary this time around.
No, it looks like he struggled in that final sector. That final sector is where it's gonna pay dividend, because you can get the first sector and the second sector down beautifully, but if you can't be patient enough for that sector 3, it can all be won or lost there. So yeah, I got to big up Gary. I raced him Thursday night, and he honestly feels like he hasn't lost any pace. He's still as quick as he was even after his knee surgery. So bigging up Gary right now, and I'm sure he'll be up with the likes of BT and Mesa here, because he was quick when we did Fuji in Simplay, so we should see how he gets on.
Absolutely. We see Bertie crossing the line there. He can't improve from P4 at the moment. Bertie driving in the Bentley, one of the Bentleys which I always struggle to identify during the races, but Bertie's currently comes into this round a little way down in the championship. He's missed a couple of rounds so far. He was flying high in last season's championship. He needs to be careful, does Bertie, because he's on the cusp of being outside of that top 10, which obviously, as some of you will know here at Motive Racing, if you finish in the top 10 in the season, you guarantee your spot for the next season. But if you're outside of that top 10, your place essentially gets put up for grabs. Now, obviously, with only one tier for the GT3s this season, it will thoroughly depend on sign-ups from people who haven't been racing this season as to whether or not Bertie will have to fight to regain his place. And what we'll probably have to do is run a playoff to separate those guys, just to see who will actually get into those final 5 or 6 spots once we get the season underway. So what's that, Dan?
I think I might know an extra sign-up, so we'll see.
Yeah, Dan's been absolutely sick and tired of sitting alongside me in the commentary box over the course of this season.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. I'm just seeing how much fun these guys are having, and I just feel like I want to get involved.
He's felt incredibly jealous of these guys out on track. It does look like a lot of fun, and I'm in the same boat.
We need another commentator. If anyone out there fancies commentating, just contact us.
Guys, I need some company in this commentary box. So please, if somebody can take up someone can take one for the team and sit alongside me for an hour and a half on a Saturday night, please, guys, somebody do it.
I'm not that bad. Jesus. I'm just seeing here, Matt just coming to pit. He loves commentating with me on a Tuesday night. I don't know. I'll try and get and say something. He gets so excited after that Monaco race we saw at Cleo's. I don't know if I could get a word in.
That was an incredible race, guys. If anybody here didn't see that, then make sure you check that out. The Clio Cup from Monaco. It was an unbelievable event. We saw an incredible battle between the front two, G and Morgan. I was on the track somewhere, but I was a long way behind them. I ended up third in that race, which was not too bad. I did get taken out by a certain emo guy. Here he is, just coming over the line. P10 at the moment here in this qualifying session. But to be fair though, he did actually wait for me and let me pass on the exit of the first corner after we made contact. So you got to give it to him. He was very sportsmanlike there.
Wasn't just
if you guys didn't see it, then make sure you check out that stream because that was an unbelievable race.
Yeah, it wasn't just the tier 1 guys who were racing hard. We had a good fight in tier 2. I'm in the tier 2 group, and we really were battling as hard as the guys in tier 1. So definitely give the whole stream a good watch because all 3 races that were involved were just fantastic, and I really thoroughly enjoyed racing in mine. I didn't win, but I didn't care. I really did enjoy it, so give it a watch if you can, guys. But we're just coming to the end of this. I believe it's a practice session, isn't it? So
the practice, and then we're going to have the reverse championship standings grid. So we'll have one formation lap before the start of the sprint race, guys. So please hang around for a couple of minutes. We're just going to go to a very, very short interval, which is just a little advertisement for motive racing. So we're back in a very short moment, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, we're moments away here from the start of the sprint race. We're going to have one short formation lap for these guys to get themselves into the order of the reverse championship standings. We're just going to go to a quick graphic which is going to show the grid order for the start of this one. So we've got Boostin lining up on the pole position here, starting the championship with DJ Phil alongside him. Then we're going to have Mr. Rogi and Bertie lining up on row 2. Sim Race Trainer, resident streamer, YouTuber here. Motive Racing lining up alongside Nando on row 3. Then we've got Fury and Okbar sat 7th and 8th. Maze Gamer and Emo Guy completing the top 10. We're going to have Rompu and BT Targa behind them, and then Gary rounding out the field. But Maze Game is in 9th. So I think Gary's got a reserve alongside him. Who's that? Do we know? I'm not quite sure. We've got 14 drivers on the grid. I think we've actually got 13 once we get going, so that should even that one out. But moments away, guys, from lights out here for the sprint race here at Fuji Speedway. This is round 5 of the season for the GT3 Super League here at Motive Racing. We're getting to crunch time now. BT Targa looking very much like he might be able to take the championship with a round to spare here. But Dan, as you know, it's never that simple. Anything can happen over the course of a whole round here.
Of course, especially in a reverse grid. Anything can happen. The top guys will need to make sure they keep their nose clean, but they can't obviously let the pack get too far away. We know Rompu needs to pretty much outscore BT Targa massively in both races, but I feel like it's going to be a very tricky race for Rompu, but we'll see what he can do. But BT, all he has to do is just go out, score points and survive, and he will be champion. But if I were going to put any money on who's going to win this, I'm going to put my money on Gary to win this race.
Oh, well, that is a very bold bet there from Dan. Me personally, I've got to Oh, it's actually a tough one, you know.
I mean, any one of them can do it. Maze Gamer is a good shout. We also got Fury as well. He was good here in the GTR.
If I'm going to hedge to I'm going to go for TriCast. I'm going to say Maze Gamer for the win, Gary second, and BT Targa bringing it home in third. Question is though, where's Rompu going to finish? Because Rompu's the only one who can mathematically take this title away from BT Targa. So it's going to be incredibly interesting.
It should be interesting. I mean, Rompu really needs to make sure he needs to get through this pack as quickly as possible, as we see these guys are just struggling to get in their order, or they're just going really slow. But yeah, it's going to be chaos into turn one, I reckon.
Needs to get up into a second, and for some reason he's messing about again. This isn't the first time.
Yeah, it's really important for these.
It's every single time we do a formation.
He's moving in.
He does this. I don't know why. So we've got Boostin lining up in first, DJ Phil second, then we've got Mr. Ogie third, Bertie fourth, Sim Race Train fifth, Nando sixth, Fury seventh, Oakbar eighth, Maze Gamer ninth, Emo Guy 10th, Rompu 11th, BT Targa 12th, and Gary 13th. That's the order that we should have. And DJ Phil's going for.
We finally got that.
There, so. Thank goodness for
that. Fury's granddad goes and says safe again. Fury's safe for a minute.
I was going to say, if there's one man who can throw up a surprise in this sprint race, it's definitely this man here, Fury. I'm joking. So Boosting coming up towards the last corner. Yeah, well, I'm down to be proven wrong anyway. But Boosting here coming into the last turn now. So when once the last car's out of the final corner, he can put his foot to the floor. It looks like he's gone early here. Boosting's gone. We are green here at Fuji. We're underway for the sprint race, and Boosting already puts a healthy gap between himself and DJ Phil. Mr. Ogie in third, Bertie fourth. I don't think they're going to be making too many position changes due to the fact that Boosting went so early coming out of the last corner. The whole pack
Nando's right behind Simplay.
Yeah, he's very close actually as we come up towards turn one. Is Nando going to try and make a move on the brakes? It looks like Ace Trade. Oh, he's going to go for the dive on the inside.
And watch out for Fury behind.
As well. Fury trying to get himself above that show. Fury gives Nando a little bit of a tap there, but both of them come past. And Sim Race Train
Maze Game.
has lost 3 positions by the looks of it already here. Maze Gamer can't get past Sim Race Train because Fury's in the way. But Nando there trying to get past DJ Phil up in towards turn 2.
It's been a terrible start for Rompu, by the way.
Mr. Ogie's gone! Mr. Ogie's in the wall! He's got sideways, snapped to the left-hand side. He was trying to correct it. It looks like he's caught Maze Gamer out as well. So it looks like Mr. Ogie and Maze Gamer, they're both in trouble here on the opening lap of this race. Disaster of a start for those guys, but Boostin's currently leading this race just ahead of Bertie. Nando finds himself into P3 already here in this race. He's had a fantastic start to this one. Fury into 4th, Sim Race Trade 5th place after getting passed at the inside by 2 guys coming into turn 1. DJ Phil down to 6th place. Oakbar right behind him. Oakbar's looking to the outside here coming into the chicane. Is he going to get that one done around the outside of DJ Phil? DJ Phil's going to hold the inside line, but Oakbar's got that one done. The Flying Dutchman is up into 6th place there. BT Targa's going over to 8th place already here. Good opening lap from the championship leader. He's going to try and go around DJ Phil now. DJ Phil trying to defend the inside for Maze Gamer. Oh! And the championship leader has been spun round! It looks like DJ Phil and BT Targa came together a little bit. Maze Gamer on the inside was the catalyst for that one. But in the end, it's caused a domino effect with Maze Gamer completely getting away scot-free from that one. Mr. Rogie just behind him now. We've got Ian there in 9th. But that's a disaster there for these 2 guys. BT Targa, the championship leader.
Bertie is right behind Boostin right now. He's got his slipstream going down into turn 1 now. The Bentley has got a great top line speed here, so he's trying and out-drag that Ferrari if he can. He's got the inside line, and he's about to drop it in, and he gets a brilliant move onto the inside, brakes well enough, and Boostin loses out on the lead. But Bertie having a great start, and Nando now onto the back of Boostin as well. Fury a bit far back from these guys, but I think Maze Gamer caused that incident between BT Targa and DJ Phil. He's going for a gap that DJ Phil had covered and just tapped DJ Phil and caught BT Targa out. But BT Targa is got a bit of work to do now. Rompu is only just in front of him, so at the minute his championship still looks fine for now. But a bit messy from some drivers.
Problems as well, which has helped him out a little bit. Looks like Nando's got ahead of Boost in here up into second place though, Dan. He can now chase down Bertie, who's leading this race. He's just under a second behind Bertie at the moment. So Nando is really getting the hammer down at the moment. But a Boost in there, sat in third place. He's now got Fury breathing down his neck as well. Sim Race Train losing a bit of ground to the leaders. And Opar's got himself just in front of Maze Gamer. Maze Gamer's looking to the inside, coming into the chicane. And Maze Gamer's got that one done up the inside. Opar leaves him the space. In the end, doesn't fight that one too hard. Ian's got a train of cars behind him, including Mr. Ogie and Gary. So Ian's going to be watching his mirrors in a few moments' time. Rompu also has in the back of these guys as well. And you can see there Mr. Ogie having to defend to the inside from Gary. Gary is going to be trying to make progress here in this race. We know he's got the pace in the GT3, but he's also going to be wary of the fact that he's not a regular racer in this category. So he might be a little bit cautious, obviously, because these guys have got a lot more on the line than he has. But Mr. Ogie here just trying to find a way past Ian at the moment. He can't quite do it as he come out of the last corner to complete that 2 of this race, that 3 even.
Yeah, Ian looks like Ian's really struggling in that GTR, and I think he would have done in that section. The GTR really struggles in handling, but it does well in the straight, and now he's starting to pull away from Mr. Rogie right now. But Gary's now got a run on Rogie now, and he's looking to the outside, but I'm not sure if that will work on that side unless he gets a great break in and a good cutback. But Ian's defending hard as well, and they make contact.
On board with Mr. Rogie there, and you can see Gary just squeeze his way around the outside. Brilliant job there from Gary. Ian almost got a little bit swamped there by those two, but he managed to weather that storm. And currently Gary up into P9 here can now get onto the back of Ian and try and get up into that 8th place. But you see here Mr. Ogie's not giving this one up. Looking to the outside, coming through turn 3, but I think Gary's got that one, and we can see there Rompu and Mr. Ogie together there, and Rompu comes off with it a lot worse, and now BT Targa crucially is ahead of the man who could take the championship away from him.
Yeah, very much so, and all BT Targa needs to do is just follow Rompu around, and Rompu's just, I think he's getting desperate now. He knows what he needs to do, but he's just making silly little errors. He could have just waited a little bit longer. Looks like Mr. Rogie was really struggling anyway, so he could have just hanged on and just waited. But BT Targa now up against in front of Rompu and doing everything he needs to do to win this championship. But yeah, it all started off with Ian struggling down the back straight as everyone started to swamp at him. But he's still ahead of Gary at the minute, and he's doing well to just hang in there on that GTR.
BT Targa having a little look to the inside of Mr. Rogie. He's going to be a little bit frustrated though, because we saw in the practice session that BT Targa had a lot of pace, and we know that he'd be more than capable of being up there fighting for this win. But obviously with the reverse grid and the incidents that he's been caught up in through no fault of his own over the first part of this race, he finds himself down in 11th place, struggling to get into the top 10 here.
Nando's just taking the lead for the race, and Bertie's... Yeah, sorry, Andy.
Bertie and Nando there. Yeah, they're going side by side here, up towards.
Look who's close behind them.
It's Fury there, right in the rearview mirrors as we see Nando cutting the inside of turn 3 a little bit, doing a bit of lawn mowing, but he's not. He's lost that position back to Bertie. So Bertie fighting this one really nicely here. We're seeing an interesting battle developing for P1. And could Bertie maybe get his first win of the season? He's not had the best of season so far, it has to be said, from the GT3s. It's not really gone his way so far. So maybe the baptism of fire here with just 2 rounds left in the season for this man. His best result of the season so far is a P4 at Donington in the sprint. So this would be a hell of a performance from him if he can get himself in P1.
Yeah, best performance we've seen from the Bentley so far here in Fuji, and maybe he's suiting this circuit a little bit, but he's got Nando behind him and Fury and then boosting, so these guys are very quick guys, and these cars as well will suit the low downforce setup and around the rear of the circuit. So he's got a lot of work to do to keep these guys behind him, but I'm sure if he keeps his head clear, he should be able to keep these guys behind. But it'll be a great opportunity for him to get his first win this season. And Fury's really close to Nando, or he was for a second. He might get the slipstream down the back straight and maybe throw a run at Nando down the inside. We'll see how that turns out. But Maze Gamer once again showing how good he is around the GT3s. He's really got himself up into 5th place and slowly catching the guys at the front. So as we go back to the front, we can see that Nando is just having a look at Bertie, but Bertie just, I think Bertie's outbraked himself.
Very wide, yeah. Nando's surely going to sense an opportunity on the exit of turn 1, but I think Bertie just about got that one together there. But yeah, Nando's got a nice run coming up towards turn 2. He's going to have to go around the outside, Bertie covering that middle line there. And for the time being, he's holding on to that position nicely, but he's definitely feeling the pressure down. We just saw a slight bit of outbreaking himself coming into turn 1. And he's gone wide again there coming through turn 3, but I think that Nando's done the same thing. Fury, though, it's going to be obviously to capitalise on any little mistakes that these two guys make ahead of him, because he is really breathing down their necks now. Oh no, Fury lost it! He spun it coming out of turn 4. Yellow flag here coming through the exit of turn 4 into the middle sector. It looks like Maze Gamer and Boostin managed to avoid him, but Fury there running into all sorts of problems. Looks like Oakbar's got Sim Race Train right behind him now as well. So Sim Race Train napping 6/10 faster on that previous lap. They're going to have to be wary of Fury here. Sim Race Train looking to the outside of Oakbar. Coming into the chicane, but he's outbraked himself a little bit. Oakbar there just parking his car on the inside really nicely and defending that position. Very widely defensive driving there from the Flying Dutchman. It looks like Gary's trying to get involved in this action here as well, with Ian just behind them. So yeah, very much a good middle of the pack battle going on between these guys. As we go back to Bertie here, he's pulled out 1 second here to Nando now.
Yeah, I think Nando getting caught up with Fury a little bit and focusing on Fury a little bit. Now he hasn't got anyone breathing down his neck. He can focus on Bertie again, because sometimes what happens if you're in the mid fight, you've got one person attacking you and one person defending, so it's tricky to get focus on one or the other driver. But now Nando can focus all of his attention on Bertie. He gets really close behind him in the braking zone, and as Bertie goes wide again, Nando will be ready to make that opportunity. But Nando's just got to be patient. He's got a bit of time left still, so he just needs to be patient and just wait for Bertie to make another mistake, and he should have that opportunity to try and take the race lead from him. But as of the minute, he's still right behind him. Just have a look at the comments a minute, and Simplay say, slow and steady, Gary. Come on, you can do this. And Fury, go Fury, go Fury. Just at the wrong time, Simplay just drops it.
Crucially for Gary, he's got ahead of Sim Race Train. I don't know what's happened to Sim Race Train, but he's obviously made a mistake at some point over the last lap, because he's dropped a few places. He was just ahead of Oakbar when we last looked at him, or just behind Oakbar, should I say. So he's lost a couple of places. Ian and Gary both up to 7th and 8th.
Looked like Ian just struggled a little bit there, and now Gary's right behind Ian right now. So these guys race hard at Simplay at the minute, and Gary's looking around the outside of the hairpin. Ian will give him space. Gary gets the inside, and then Ian gets the inside again. Oh! Careful, boys.
Ian's looking back to the inside, but Gary's going to close the door there, chop his nose off, and Ian's lost it!
Oh,
Ian spins the car, and he's lost positions here. He gets it spun round absolutely beautifully, I must say. But I'm sure he's not going to be at all interested in that little compliment there, because he's now down in 10th place. He's got Rompu just behind him. Gary up into some clean air now. He can chase down Oakbar. He's right up his chuff again here as we come out of the last corner onto the pit straight. Gary, actually, he's lapping quicker than the leaders here, Dan. He really is flying on his Motive debut in the GT3s.
Yeah, and I'm just currently looking at the leaders at the minute, and Bertie's still trying to defend heavily, weaving around across the track, which he can do, but he's gone deep again, and Nando's right there.
Oakbar looking to the inside of Fury. He's trying to I think he's made that move there.
And Gary's just tapped Fury.
Oh! Yeah, both of those guys get a little bit out of shape. Oakbar went deep into the corner. Fury looked to the inside, and Gary there just going too late.
Gary giving the space back.
Sim Race Train, yeah, very sportsman-like there from Gary, but Sim Race Train moves up ahead of Gary there. And is he going to try and make the move on Fury now? This is an excellent battle going on here. Fury manages to weather that storm. But,
look who's come in the background of it. BT Target's now onto the back of this group as well. So it's really helped him kind of bring the pack closer to him.
Oh, Gary out of shape.
Yeah, Gary's just gone a little bit wide, so BT makes another place without even trying there. But yeah, looks like BT's starting to slice his way through this pack. He's just got Sim Race Train, and then to get past Fury, and then he's got Oakbar in front of him in the similar Mercedes. But he looks to the inside.
Of Sim Race Train, he's not going to make that one move, not from there.
They've both gone deep though.
Yeah. So Fury there just trying to break away from this pack. Obviously he knows that they're battling it out, and Oakbar looking to the inside here. Sim Race Train leaves the door open, and Oakbar makes a routine pass there up the inside, up into
BT.
Sorry, BT. I do apologise. They're driving the same livery in the same car. So
yeah,
terrible. Yeah.
But Oakbar is doing well. Anyway, Oakbar is doing well up in 5th place in front of these guys. So yeah, he's just in front of Fury, and now BT has now got through, and then Gary's just found his way through past Simplay. Sorry, Simplay. Sim Race Train. Matt's probably loving that because he always gets a shout out then. But Sim Race Train and Gary are going hard. Sim Race Train and Gary are going hard right now. Both Porsches going down into turn 1. Gary should get that move done, but Race is going to try and fight for it, and BT is just in front of him as well. So carefully don't hit him, boys. But Gary's really twitchy on exit.
Sim Race Train's going to get the run back on him here as he comes down towards turn 2. Surely he's going to have the inside line. Gary's slightly ahead coming into the braking zone. I think Sim Race Train's got that one done.
We've got a fight at the... I just want to say that at the front now we got Maze Gamer right behind Nando. Maze Gamer is trying to find his way past Nando right now, and really brought that gap down to the leaders, Maze Gamer. So he's really pumping in the lap times, but he's just gonna dive on Nando, and that was a bit pushy.
Oh yeah, that was a bit dodgy there. He's he's pulled it off, but maybe Nando might be a bit upset about that one.
I mean, it was a little bit pushy from Maze Gamer, but I'm guessing that he's desperate for points. But Nando really had to get out of that one, or else it would have been a big accident. But now Maze Gamer moves up into second, and now he's got to try and hunt down Bertie. Bertie will have a big challenge against him now with Maze Gamer hunting him down in that Mercedes, and we know the Mercedes is very powerful in a straight line.
Yeah, absolutely is. The Maze Gamer there takes him for the win in the build up to this race. Maybe, just maybe, one of my predictions might come true. We'll have to wait and see. But he's got the gap to just under a second now. That's it. G saying there in the background, make sure you don't let Andy predict anything, because it will always come. Oh my goodness, what's happened here? Bertie looks like he lagged a lot there. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I definitely saw that, but sometimes that happens to my game. For some reason, all the cars in front of me suddenly stop, and he's gone again. Bertie's
happened again. Oh no!
He's having connection issues.
Disconnect from the race. That would be absolutely horrible for him. He's obviously leading this race, and it looks like Bertie has disconnected.
Oh no!
Oh no! That is horrible. Bertie was on for his best result of the season. There, it would have been his first podium, let alone his first win. But he is unfortunately fallen foul of the Wi-Fi gods with just 3 laps left to go. I don't know what to say there. That is heartbreaking there for him.
It's absolutely heartbreaking. It's just like if in real life you have an engine blowout just as you're leading the race. It's just nothing he could have done.
When you consider the season he's had as well. I mean,
yeah,
it's just going to be the high point in his season.
Would have given him such a confidence boost as well, knowing he could get the Bentley around, especially on a circuit like Fuji. But such rotten luck. And Maze Gamer's got to slow down.
Nando makes a move to the inside coming into the last corner. So Maze Gamer seems to have fallen foul of the race director. This race for the win is very much back on again. And just coming back to Bertie for a moment there. He can still take solace from the fact that he put in a good performance and was clearly on the pace, but it will feel like one that's got away from him for sure as we come out onto the penultimate lap of the race now. And you see there Nando weaving left and right, trying to stay out of the slipstream as we come into turn 1. Maze Gamer's not going to be able to make a move from there. Nando is very keen on making sure that he doesn't allow Maze Gamer to come past. This would be Nando's first win here at Motive Racing. In fact, it'd be his first podium. In fact, he's never finished in the top 5 before today. So if Nando can win this race, it'd be quite a turnout for the books.
Remember the power we have, Andy. Remember the power. But Maze Gamer really giving him a hard time. He really making him want to fight for it. And Nando goes to the inside to defend for it. But Maze Gamer will get a better run out of the corner and gets a better exit. So will Nando fight hard for it into the hairpin? It looks like he's got the inside. So whereas Maze Gamer already sailed right around past him. So just takes Maze Gamer to do another mistake like he did a second ago, and it will give Nando another chance. But Maze Gamer has found his way through. Just looking back, Ugbar has moved up to 3rd place. He's finally had a decent race where he hasn't been caught up in anyone's accidents. He's having a good solid race there in 3rd place, having a good fight with Boostin. Yeah, it's really good to see Ugbar up there. But we're currently seeing Fury trying to fend off Gary at the moment. Gary last time around was 2 seconds faster than Fury. So he really is on a mission at the moment. Whether or not Gary can get himself up into the top 5 on his debut here in the GT3s, it's going to be a bit of a push, obviously, because Fury's no easy customer when it comes to overtaking. He's going to fight this with absolutely everything. Interesting to see Sim Race Train recovering a few places as well now. He's right behind these guys, so it'd be good to see if he can get himself up there. Our resident YouTuber here, guys, if you haven't already, check out Sim Race Train on YouTube. Same as his PlayStation name on YouTube, exactly the same, just Sim Race Train. And have a look at his videos. He puts some great content up. Always is very complimentary about us as well. As we see Gary, how he moved to the inside here,
coming up towards turn 1 as Fury's left the door open and Gary's got that one done on the brakes. Is Fury going to try and fight back on the exit of the corner? I think.
Oh, Gary gets the twitch.
Oh, Fury's got a nice run though coming out of turn 1. But has he got the straight line speed in that Lamborghini? The AMG's definitely going to have a bit of an advantage coming down the straight, and it looks like Gary's got that one done. Is he wide out of turn 3? Not too wide. Oh, it looks like Fury's though got him on the exit.
Yeah,
Fury
I think Gary
got a great drive out of the corner, didn't he, Dan?
Yeah, it looks like the Fury really didn't want to give that position up, so he was just keeping his eyesight level in play so that when Gary went into the corner he could overshoot it, but nicely done by Fury holding that place back. But we go back to the front at the minute, and Maze Gamer with the race lead at the minute, and I believe this is the final lap.
He's not shaking him off though, is he? But yeah, we're coming into the last few corners, so I'm just thinking that Maze Gamer is more than likely going to take this one. He does go a bit wide, but he just needs to nurse this one through the last couple of corners now. Maze Gamer comes into the final turn here at Fuji Speedway in the sprint race here, and he is going to take his 4th win in a row here in the GT3 Super League. He won the feature race at Imola, he won the sprint and feature races last time out at Sakito, and he's going to take another win here. Maze Gamer on sizzling form in the last part of this season. Fantastic drive from him. Came back from a bit of struggles in the opening part of the race to take the win. Lando second, great drive from him. His first podium here at Motive. Ogbar finally comes round to take a well-deserved podium. His first podium since the opening round of the season at Brands Hatch, where he took a double podium for that one. 2 third places, so solid from him. We see Boosting coming around in 4th. Great result from Boosting as well. Really well done to him. Fury comes over in 5th. Gary 6th. Sim Race Train completes the race in 7th place. Then we had Ian coming over in 8th, just about holding off Rompu. And BT Targa, the championship leader, having a slight mare in that one. He lost points to his championship rival Rompu. So it's going to be a hell of a job if BT Targa can wrap up the title here tonight at Fuji. It may have to roll over to next week at the Circuit of the Americas. Mr. Rogi coming up to the line now to finish in 11th place. And DJ Phil, fantastic job from DJ Phil, as always, coming over and finishing in 12th place. And I just want to make a big shout out to DJ Phil. He did actually win 2 races at Simplay Motorsports Pro-Am Series on Wednesday night. He took his first win in that series. They're both at Monza.
2 wins.
So, yeah, he took a double. So, really well done to DJ Phil for that. And, yeah, unfortunately didn't get the result he would have wanted to in tonight's race. But and that's Maze Gamer taking the win here tonight in this sprint race. But make sure you stay with us, guys, because we'll be back on for the feature race qualifying session in a couple of moments' time. So stay tuned, stay around, and we'll be back in a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fuji Speedway for the feature race qualifying session of Motive Racing's GT3 Super League. This is round 5 of the season, the penultimate round. We go into this one not knowing whether this man here, BT Targa, who's still yet to leave his pit garage, is about to take the championship with a round to spare ahead of next week's finale at the Circuit of the Americas. It all depends on what this man here, Rompu, does, who's also still yet to leave his pit garage. In fact, a couple of guys coming out to take to the track. Nando and Smoky Devil, the first out onto the track. Smoky Devil wasn't with us for the sprint race, so I'm sure he's going to be out there with a point to prove here in this feature. But lots of guys out there. 15 cars out on the track now, so we're looking forward to this one. It should be an absolutely excellent race here, Dan.
Certainly should be. With a longer race this time and a qualifying session, we get to see who really is the fastest of the fastest around Fuji. But should be very interesting. I think we got interesting weather conditions coming up, so we'll see how these guys handle the race tonight.
Absolutely. I'm just seeing a comment coming in from Welshie in the comment section. He races in the Prime Series over at Simplay Motorsport, saying, why did I have to rub it in, the fact that DJ Phil won the 2 races at Monza the other night? Well, sorry Welshie, my bad.
He's a Motive boy.
I thought I had to chat. Yeah, I had to. DJ Phil went and did the business away from home. You know, I've got a Motive racing on tour. I've got to obviously commend that.
Well, if I took the win, he would have said nothing about it. So
I don't care if you would.
Thanks, man. I feel the love. I feel the love. Well, at this rate, I might as well go enjoy Simplay, because I keep mistaking Sim Race Train's name, so I might as well go and join them.
Mistaking, he says in inverted commas. Anyway, DJ Phil currently coming into the last couple of corners now. He's about to start. If you want, then I would have bigged you up on Tuesday. No.
I need to win first, Matt.
Next thing on the Clios, for the Monza Short Clios, we're going to have Matt going, and our Simplay Motorsport boy, Dan Davis, is going to win the race.
Please don't, because I'll actually lose. I'm tied on points with the Hewis Rocker, and Zeus is only 6 points behind me, so please don't mention anything about me.
Can they hear you, G? Right, okay. Let me just quickly just interject there. So G was just mentioning that he's going to be putting up a hot lap video for Monza Short in the Clios, just in case anybody can't remember the way around. Basically, you go right, then left, then right, and then right again. Yeah, it's just quite a few turns in that one. I've got to say, twisty track, difficult to remember. It's a lot of very, very unorthodox braking points and stuff like that. You know, it's not easy to get the hang of, for sure.
I don't remember much from our practice session. I just remember being upside down because one of you hit me.
Wasn't me.
I think it was you, Andy.
No, it wasn't me. I didn't do anything like that.
Of course it was Andy.
I would never put somebody on their roof. I would never do a thing like that.
See, Andy's the main reason for crashes at Monza Short. They can hear me now, by the way.
No, I've never caused a crash at Monza Short, apart from the one where I started building sandcastles on the exit of Parabolic. That's the only time that I ever caused a crash at Monza Short. It is. I've never done anything other than that.
I
meant to do a barrel roll. The intention was to do a barrel roll, and I ended up barrel rolling about 10 times and ending up in the catch bends. I don't even know how it happened.
But somehow you managed to get back on track, and because at that one time I did not set a reset button, I was stuck on my roof, so...
Well, you know, you should come into things prepared.
Well, after that, I'm definitely prepared now. After Andy taking me out, I'm definitely prepared, but... Anyway, enough about us. Let's talk about what's going on in the session.
Yeah, that's it. So we've got Nando currently leading this qualifying session. He's sat on the top spot, 1 minute 40.2. He's got a tenth of a second back to Bertie. Sat in second place, driving in that Bentley at the moment. But it looks like BT Targa has just trumped all of these guys. He's gone to top of the leaderboard by over a second. So possible champion-elect here, really stamping down his authority in this feature race qualifying session. Just under 10 minutes to go. So BT Targa looking like he's getting that AMG finally going round in the way that he wants it to. So far sat in fourth in the session at the moment. You still
Fury
have a pilot's license, Andy, unlike Fury. Oh, you still don't have a pilot's license? Has Fury got a pilot's license? Wow.
Yeah, no, what he was. I remember Fury showing me and telling me in a party. It's
Fury's an
impressive.
astronaut. No, Fury's an astronaut. He's got a NASA license. Oh, the only time Andy was rolling, he did it on our fun race on the Wednesday. I did actually, yeah. That was
gymnastics. That wasn't rolling.
That was coming.
That was more
bridge,
gymnastics.
Yeah. That was under the old bridge turn at Silverstone.
I'll give you a solid 10 out of 10 for that landing because that was spectacular. But we see that Nando.
Leave yourself on audible, to be fair. Yeah, on audible. Yeah. 10 out of 10 for the landing, Andy. For gold! Andy for gold!
Yeah, so basically what I said was that's what you get for betraying us and representing Simplay.
That's true, yeah. I was sporting their red and white colours,
yeah,
wasn't I?
Yeah.
We're all running the blue and you go white and red. It makes no sense. And you're the main man.
Exactly.
I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah. It was your idea. Let's all run the blue Cosworth, and then you go and run the white and red one. I think there's something suspicious going on here. There's something suspicious going on here.
Complete betrayal.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
There's just some kind of backwards allegiance going on there, I suppose.
Matt's just gone and put Andy and Dan for Simplay. What? I didn't white the white and red.
What's going on here?
Oh no.
Don't know what you're talking.
Dan, you got something you want to tell me?
Have you got something to tell me?
Have you got something you want to tell me?
Well, I just keep messing.
I just got to join Simplay.
I just keep messing up his name. That's all I keep doing. It's just
you decided you're going to be making thumbnails for Simplay Motorsport now.
Whoa! All right, we're getting a little bit personal now.
Ian, Gary, Rompu haven't put lap times in yet.
Well, neither have I.
Well, yeah, because you're not racing. Yeah, I wonder why that unorthodox guy is sat in the pits. It's a bit odd.
Nando's up into P2 though, guys. So obviously he was P2 in that sprint race, and he's very much showing his skills once again. Force is strong in these two.
The weird thing was, I was watching Star Wars before I came on here.
Oh wow! It's a weird coincidence that way.
Yeah, well, you know, I can read minds. The Force is strong with me. Oh my god. I need to make sure I keep getting Simrace Train's name right or else I'm in more trouble.
Simplay Train.
No, Simrace. Andy Gaurav is Simrace.
Simplay Train.
Simrace.
Andy keeps betraying us now.
He's doing it on purpose.
What? No, I don't.
He's betraying us.
I'm supporting a fellow league on PlayStation 4. Sim racing is a small community on PlayStation. I'm trying to big up other leagues to spread more awareness towards the sim racing community.
Well, I'm running their colours as well.
Running their colours. Yeah, driving against us.
These are not the commentators you're looking for.
Oh, somebody's gone off there in the background. I don't know who hit the wall there. Somebody went off into the wall. I don't know. That could have either been Smokey, Gary, or Ian, or possibly Sim Race Train. But somebody I just saw there in the background crashing into the wall on the exit of the last corner. But anyway,
Maze Gamer's still in P10. That's odd.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling in that Mercedes. Maybe he keeps getting laps this loud. I've seen on my info feed, and this does say track limits. So maybe he's getting caught out by the race stewards at the minute. But yeah, we should really focus on this qualifying session because we keep wandering off this conversation. But Nando's brought that gap down. He's now only 6 tenths behind BT Targa, and we got Ugbar sitting there in third place. So Ugbar is having a very good qualifying session. Let's hope he can have another clean race as well. He really needs a good race weekend because every race weekend he seems to ever get in, he gets caught up in trouble. So, and then we got Bertie, who unluckily just got disconnected in race 1 when he should have gone on to fight for that race win. But he's sitting there pretty in fourth, so he's got the pace in that Bentley. And we got Fury as well sitting up there, and I think we just
Oh,
just had Maze Gamer doing.
Too.
Yeah, so now we're seeing the true pace out of Maze Gamer. He's only 3/10 off Bertie. The top three, the only ones in the 139. So Nando's going really well in that Ferrari, though. Really, really, the shot for me that is.
Yeah, he's got that thing flying. It looks like he's minus a front right headlight, so he's obviously had a hefty whack in the wall at some point. But
Gareth,
please don't say he's got that thing flying, because we're going to see him going to the International Space Station next.
Let's hope that he doesn't end up taking off from Kennedy Space Center and going into the Earth's outer orbit, because he's currently doing a great job here on planet Earth at the moment, is Nando. He's coming up into turn one. He's not improved on his lap time that last time around, but yeah, very much keeping that thing nailed down to the track. So let's hope that the downforce in that car continues to do its job and cooperate with gravity.
Jamie Brazy, don't mention disconnecting to me.
Yeah, Jamie Brazy was very unlucky in the Wednesday Pro-Am race over at Simplay, I've got to say. I've heard he's getting an Ethernet cable, which I've been suggesting he does for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 months. But it's good to know that he's finally heeding my advice. Maze Gamer is currently coming up on the line now. He's sat P2 in this session. Can he put it on the top spot and be throwing BT Targa at the top of the leaderboard here in this qualifying session? He comes over the line now, and he does. He goes half a second quicker. That is an absolute scorcher of a time there from Maze Gamer. You can see there, that's Bertie coming over the line in the background. He can't improve, stays P5. What can Ogbar do now? He's got a bit of slipstream from the car ahead of him, and Ogbar put himself on the front row maybe.
We'll see what happens.
Crosses over the line now, and he can't improve on his personal best this time around. He's got a Ferrari there. I think that's Boostin just ahead of him.
BT's coming over now.
Incredible fourth place. Yeah, BT's just up towards the line. He can't improve on his personal best that time there, but I was just going to say about Boostin, he put in a hell of a performance in that sprint race, came fourth in the end, so he's really starting to get to grips this season. Obviously he missed the first couple of rounds, so he would have been a bit rusty compared to the other guys, but it's good to see him getting some really good results in at the latter stages of this season, as we see Maze Gamer, the current provisional pole sitter, making his way up towards the chicane. He's got half a second to BT Targa. Can BT Targa, the championship leader, do anything about that? He knows that he's in touching distance of taking the championship here at Motive Racing. And I'm going to do a quick calculation now. I'm just going to grab my calculator and figure this out, guys, because he could take the title. I know he finished behind Rompu in that sprint race, so it's going to be hard, but it could be on.
At this minute, Rompu is only qualified in 7th place, and BT, all he needs to do is probably just follow Maze home. He doesn't need to be fighting him, so maybe sitting behind Faze, what looks like his main rival for this race. If he just follows him home, then he should be fine. Simply go and put 1 + 1 = 2, Andy. Sort it for you. But if it was me and I was BT, I would just sit behind Maze and just follow him home. If you're wanting to take the championship this race, then there's no point racing someone hard like Maze and just follow him home. Just let him take the win and you take the championship. But I'm watching him now, currently coming down the back straight and coming across the line. Can he improve on his lap time? As he comes across the line now, it's he does improve. He gains 2/10, but Maze's lap time is. As we see, Fury's granddad says that he'll still get it wrong somehow. So make sure you figure that calculation out properly, Andy. We don't want any false predictions and false results.
No, there definitely won't be. No. If BT Targa wins the championship, I 100% guarantee it will be a correct reporting.
If he just, where does he?
The gap is 47 points. Between him and the championship, but he needs a 73-point margin to win it. So basically, if BT Targa were to win, he would need Rompu to finish outside the top 10. So it's looking unlikely for this week that BT Targa is going to wrap this one up.
It's a very tall order for BT Targa to get it wrapped up here, but we'll see what he can do. See if that happens. Anything can happen. Rompu might have some trouble in the race, but it's definitely still open for now. But BT didn't really have the best race 1, so maybe this race 2 he can get it done. But we'll see what happens.
See what he can do as he comes up towards the line now. He's on his final run of the session here. Can he put himself on the top spot and set himself up for a possible Champions drive coming up in the feature race? He's crossing over the line now, and it is not an improvement for BT Targa. He stays P2. Mace Gamer just coming up towards the line now. He's currently sat on provisional pole, and he's coming into the pits. So he obviously isn't on a flyer here. Rompu, the man who can take the championship away from BT Targa, has come over the line, and he couldn't improve on his lap time. He stays P6. Sim Race Train is going to be next over the line in the Porsche. Here he comes, driving the number 76, the black and yellow livery, and he crosses over the line now, and he goes a little bit quicker, but he can't improve in terms of position. Mr. Rogi and Ian are going to be the last 2 guys to come over the line. It looks like Ian's bailed out. He's going very slowly, so Mr. Rogi is over the line. Mr. Rogi just coming into the last corner now. He gets a nice exit out of the final corner. A little bit of curve on the exit, not too much. Sticking to that white line, wants to minimise the amount that he's moving to the side as he comes up towards the line now. Doesn't want to scrub any time off. Foot to the floor here. It's a long pitch straight here at Fuji, so the run out of that last corner is so imperative to lap time. But he crosses over the line now, and looks like Mr. Ogi can't improve. He stays P9, so it's going to be Mace Gamer lining up on the front row with BT Targa, the potential champion-elect, alongside him. But Nando Ogbar lining up on row 2. What's going to happen here, guys? Let us know in the comments section if you think BT Targa can wrap this one up with a round to spare before the finale at Kota next week.
Shout out to Gary and Ian for the heck of a lap time. Totally agree.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us live on the Motive Racing channel for this evening's GT3 action. If you like what you see, then please make sure you drop a like on this video. There's 20 people watching live on YouTube at the moment, so if you can, just drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. That being said, we're moments away from the start of the feature race. BT Targa could become the next GT3 champion here at Motive Racing. He'll be the second driver in our history to wrap it up with a round to spare if he can do it this week. But if he can't, then it will roll over to next week, where he's got to be almost a dead cert to seal the deal. Rompu, the only man who can take it away from him, lines up in 6th on the grid. So we're moments away here, guys, from lights out. And it looks like that's unorthodox there in the background. His car is doing a little bit of a dance for the cameras. The light show, says he.
I like a little boogie. I'm trying to get some it's a bit of the mood setting, you know. Just let's get excited, guys. Like, boom, 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 boom.
I'd like to say a big shout out to Fury's mum in the chat. She's joining us here for this feature race. Fury lining up in 6th place here on the grid for this one. We're moments away now, almost lights out. And it's lights are out and away we go, and it's a fantastic start there from Bertie, and we see an incident in the background already there. That looks like it was DJ Phil and Mr. Rogi coming together off the line, but currently we've got, that looks like Oakbar's trying to have a look to the outside coming into turn 1. Mace Gamer's got the lead though. BT Targa has maintained 2nd place there. Looks like we've got somebody going wide there. Nando getting all the way, all over the tarmac there on the exit of turn 1. Oakbar is trying to look to the outside of turn 2. Fury,
Gary's been hit.
An incident there. Gary and that's
Mr. Rogi.
It's the Rogi and Gary coming together there on the exit of turn 2. But Mace Game is leading this race just ahead of BT Targa. Ogbar maintains P3. It looks like Fury's got up ahead of Ian at P4 there. You see Ian getting a little bit wide there coming through turn 4. Nando's going to try and boost. Oh, Nando's got off. Nando and Boosting coming together there. The two Ferraris coming together, and that's allowing Bertie to move up the inside. Oh, Boosting up into 6th place, but that would not have been what Boosting and Nando wanted at all. DJ Phil up into 8th after that. But Mace Gamer leads the race here down on the opening lap ahead of BT Targa.
Yeah, the front 3 managed to get away and run away, so 3 Mercedes leading out, but it was a little bit messy from the guys in the mid-pack. Fury and Emo guy getting caught up, but Fury hasn't lost too many places. I think he's actually gained. But Ian, the big mover at the minute in that Nissan GTR, he's really moved up the pack. And we've got Bertie who lost out as well, and Boosting as well is trying to fight his way through. But Maze Gamer did exactly what he needed to do, get out in front and run away with it. BT Targa, he's thinking championship, so he's not getting too involved with Maze Gamer right now. And Ugbar having a fantastic Fuji meeting. He's up there in 3rd place, finally getting some good race starts in. But
yeah, he came third in the previous race, in the sprint race, so we know that he's definitely on one tonight. Whether or not he's going to keep up this sort of form over the course of this feature race, he's not too far off those two leaders. He will know that if they start tripping over each other or battling, which at the moment is looking unlikely with Maze Gamer pulling away, but if they do start engaging with each other, and Ogbar's going to be right there to capitalise. Fury 4th, we've got Ian currently sat in 5th place at the moment. There's Bertie in the background there coming into turn 1. He was a little bit deep into turn 1. Boostin will be seeing that just ahead of him. Nando there. Oh, what's going on? What has happened to Simrace Train? Simrace Train is in the wall, coming up towards turn 1, down the pit straight. What is going on there? What has happened?
I think he might have been fighting hard with DJ Phil and Mr. Rogi, because those three were quite close. And now that, and obviously Simrace Train is now way back, so maybe they got caught up in that. But yeah, the guy who's had the biggest bad start was probably Gary. He's just not been able to make his way up.
We're just seeing reports that Rompu has disconnected from the lobby now. The championship gap was 47 points coming into this feature race. Now this makes it very easy to calculate because BT Targa only needs to finish in P2. He needs to gain 26 points on Rompu. Obviously you get 27 points for P3, so as long as BT Targa is on the podium in this feature race, he is the next GT3 champion here at Motive Racing. He just needs to bring this one home. He's pretty much got this one in the bag. Dan, obviously, he knows he only needs to keep a top 3 finish. Does that increase the pressure on him now, knowing that he's got it with arm's reach, he's in touching distance, or how would that change his thinking going into this one now?
It all depends if he's listening to the stream. If he's listening to the stream, then he knows exactly what he needs to do. He doesn't know what's going on with Rompu, but he's still got to be cautious out there. You've got Ugbar and Fury who are starting to creep up onto him, so those guys will not make it easy for him, and they don't really care about the championship. They want to get some race wins and podiums, so there's a sniff of a chance those guys will push him hard, especially Emo guy as well. So he's got to be cautious, but at the same time he can't get too complacent. He has to make sure that he stays in front. Maze Game has dropped it.
They just lost it. So now BT Targa looking very good. He's been promoted up into 1st place. He's been gifted the lead on a plate. Maze Gamer
he's dropped it again.
Oh, he's dropped it again. What's happened to Maze Gamer?
Yes, be careful getting back on the circuit. And he gets in the way of boosting.
Very unhappy about that. You can see there flashing his lights saying, "What are you doing there?" So Maze Gamer there down to 6th place. He should, out of respect there, just let Boosting past even. And yeah, he does do that, in fact. So Boosting there. Oh,
Boosting overshoots.
Boosting overshot the corner massively. Goes straight through the polystyrene.
Well, we'll see what happens towards the end of the race, but he should have been more careful as he was coming back onto the track. Maze Gamer, he really compromised Boosting's exit and really didn't give in any racing space. I know he's frustrated about his mistake, but he still needs to give that space. He still needs to be aware of what's going on around him. But
yeah, you can't just rejoin straight into somebody else's path when they're carrying so much more speed and momentum than you are. It's completely inconsiderate, and we're seeing Maze Gamer now down to 6th place. Obviously he'll be frustrated that he's had a moment, but it's still no excuse. But BT Targa's leading this race. He's currently got a 2.5 back to this man, Ugbar, who's driving a fantastic race here in this feature race. And we see Fury going a little bit deep into turn 1, gets away with it, but he's very much got Ian on his rear end at the moment. It's currently Lambo versus GTR. Obviously these guys teammates over at Simrace Motorsport. I'm joking, I'm messing it out, guys. I did that on purpose. Simplay Motorsport, but Fury there still managing to hold him off at the moment. By the way, guys, make sure you check out Simplay Motorsport, the guys who are commenting in the YouTube stream. Great racing action on Wednesday nights and Thursday nights. But in the meantime, we're currently watching the Motive Racing boys doing absolutely everything they can out on the track tonight. Fury holding on for that podium spot just about. It looks like Fury and Emo Guy have also closed in on Ugbar a little bit here.
Yeah, it seems like Ugbar has struggled this lap to really keep that Mercedes. He's gone very deep into the hairpin, and Fury's literally right there. So maybe Fury's looking around the outside of Ugbar. Maybe he can get it done. It's going to be tricky.
He's going to go for it. He's going to compete around. Oh, fantastic move there from Fury.
Watch out, here comes in.
World-class overtake there. He had to have the confidence there in Ogbar to just put it around the outside. He sailed past him up into second place. Fantastic job there from Fury, you've got to say. That is one of the passes of the season there from this young lad.
Yeah, now he just needs to make sure he doesn't make any mistakes. He just needs to stay consistent now. If it means losing a tenth by slowing up a little bit, but Ogbar's coming back. That Mercedes is powerful in a straight line, and he's going to out-drag the Lambo. But watch out, here comes the GTR of Ian as well. Ian's coming up behind as well. Is he going to try and make a move on Fury? Fury's going to have to try and give the space, but he breaks later, and Ogbar goes a bit deep.
Oh, buddy! Oh!
And Fury holds on to that place, but those two cars are very powerful in a straight line. Ian now looking at the move on Ogbar, and I think Ogbar's just going to have to give up that pace, but great racing from these three.
Definitely conceded that one. You could see he just had to back out of it a little bit as Ian came past because he had so much more momentum coming out of turn one even, and Ian's now trying to pull up onto the back of Fury. Fury made that fantastic move on Ogbar we saw on the previous lap, round the outside, and he's now running in P2, but he's very much got Ian hot on his heels here. It looks like Bertie is closing on this battle as well, the man who disconnected from the sprint race whilst in the lead, currently 5th place and hunting these guys down.
Bertie's having a brilliant race too, making up for race 1, obviously, the disappointment of disconnecting, but just shows how much pace he did actually have in race 1, that he's managing to stick with these guys. If he can clear these guys, he will be back on the podium again. And at the minute, BT Targa is just pulling away from these guys, and at this minute, I don't want to curse him yet, at this minute, he's got the championship in his hands. He's got one hand on the handle at the minute and the other one soon, but Ogbar defending hard from Bertie, and it looks like Bertie just made a slight mistake there, and it allowed Maze Gamer just to catch up to the back of this train. So we now got a 5-car train here, but yeah, at the minute BT Targa is having the dream race 2 that he could have imagined.
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely running away with this one. It looks like he's pretty much got this championship in the bag. I don't want to put the commentator's curse on it now. I see Jamie Brazier there say he's only cursed if Andy said it. Well,
Fury's dropped it!
Fury's been there coming out of turn 1, and he's lost a lot of places here, just like Ian's up into 2nd place. Ogbar onto the podium. Oh, and we've also lost somebody from the race as well. I don't know who that was, but somebody's dropped out. Trying to look down the order and see. It was somebody disconnecting, I would imagine, because it's not somebody who was lower down the order. I'm looking from bottom up to try and figure out who it was that just left the session. Oh, it's Mr. Rogi. Mr. Rogi out there. Oh, and there's a collision there between Ogbar and Fury. They're both round, coming through turn 5. And I don't know, I caught the tail end of that. I was just looking at the YouTube comments section. Dan, did you see who caused that?
I don't think I couldn't see it, but I think it might have been Fury. He is sitting and waiting for Ogbar, and Ogbar is struggling to get back on track. So I think Fury might have tagged Ogbar. Fury sat on the track, waiting and waiting and waiting, and Ogbar is finally back on track. We see Fury carry on, but yeah, Fury gets going again. But I'm pretty sure Fury went into the back of Ogbar out of frustration. I don't think he means to do it on purpose, but it's just frustration for him. As we see now, Maze Gamer is up into 3rd place now because of all that. So Maze Gamer wins out on that one, but Fury, man, just need to just keep it calm, mate. Keep it cool when you're in those situations. Just need to keep a calm head. I know it's hard, but unlucky, man. Just need to keep his head cool. But you see, I think Boostin is also quite a one out of that as well. So, but Emo guy now as well, he benefits from that and gets 2nd place in that GTR. So he really is having a better race too, is Ian? So. I can't believe what's just happened there.
I really can't. That came from nowhere. Those guys were keeping it so clean and really were racing well, and then just one little slip out of the blue. It's easily done, though. I mean, you can be having a good race and then just one slight lapse of concentration from Fury, and that was an unfortunate incident between those two guys. But they've still got time in this race to make it up. We're not even a third of the way into this one yet. The pit window will be opening at the end of lap 8, so these guys still very much in with a chance of getting some good points here in this race. Or Fury less so, he's only 30 seconds behind the leaders. But having said that though, I reckon 5th could be on the cards if he really gets his head down and gets back into the game a little bit, finds a groove that works for him, then I'm sure we will be seeing Fury. We haven't seen the end of him in this race, that's for sure.
No, he'll try and make his way back up. So, but we'll see how he gets on. But at the minute, BT Targa leading out in front, constantly doing the 140s and just having a comfortable race too. Ian, out of a bit of luck and a bit of patience, is sitting up in second place, doing well in that GTR, with Maze Gamer trying to hunt him down and make up for his mistakes from the start of the race. And Bertie once again having a fantastic drive in that Bentley. Could do with a bit more pace, but at the minute, 4th place is great for Bertie at this moment. And Gary as well, he's had a quiet one and he's now up into 5th place. Really showing what he can do in that Porsche when he's got a bit of clear air.
He is, and it's really impressive to see that Gary's doing such a good job tonight, because he is racing as a reserve. He doesn't race in the GT3s here at Motive very often. He races over at Simplay, but they're default setups, so it's obviously a little bit more of a challenge to not just deliver on the track, but you also got to put in the work throughout the week in the build up to the race. You've got to make sure that the car is fine-tuned and sorted out so that it can compete with these guys who literally, a lot of these guys spend quite a bit of time getting their setup sorted out and making sure that they're absolutely tailored to the tracks that they're driving. So Gary at the moment doing a good debut here in the GT3s at Motive. It's good to see him, you know, really taking to it like a fish to water, so to speak.
Yeah, I'm just looking in the comments now. Fury said he was on the inside of me and I couldn't see him, so a misjudgment of positioning from Fury. So misjudgment. I think I'm not sure of what's going to come out of that, but we'll see what happens.
Also, I'm not sure how Fury typed that comment when he's driving.
Yeah, neither do I. I think he might have just somehow did it on the back straight. You might have it a long enough time.
Oh, yeah, he could have just got straight for the straight and then typed it on his phone. Anyway, so Fury's obviously got a ghostwriter there on his YouTube channel here, typing the comments for him as he drives, but we've got BT Targa still leading this race, and it looks like we've got Maze Gamer in the back.
He in pits.
Somebody was in the pits there. It looked like he was feigning to go in the pits, but then didn't. So he's obviously trying to play games here with Bert. Oh, see Ian there. You're right, absolutely, Dan. You're absolutely right. Ian is coming into the pits. He's going to get slowed down. Let's see what sort of pit stop he gets here as he pulls into the box. He'd be hoping to get the undercut on the guys up ahead of him, like Gary there, who was running in 4th. See what sort of pit stop it is. That looked like a solid pit stop there to me, Dan. In and out, very nicely indeed.
Very much so. Done and out of the way, as Ian likes it. He likes to get his pit stop done and then try and make up time for what he's lost here. So we'll see how he gets on. He's got, I believe he has a bit of clear air now, so I don't think he has anyone in front of him. Ugbar is already around the corner and Fury's behind him. DJ Phil is now coming into the pits as well, but just looking in the comments again, and it says here that Rompu got disconnected as the race started, so that's bad luck for him. Yeah, Fury goes to put one hand, baby.
One-handers, baby, he said. One-handers.
Wow. One-handers. All right.
One-handers.
Well, if you drive with both hands, mate, you might actually stay in a straight line. So I'm just a little tip. Just
maybe you wouldn't be crashing into people.
might have been a little bit of a backhand comment, but as we can see, I feel bad now. As you can see,
did a great job here tonight. He's actually driving pretty quickly when you consider, but BT Targa into the 1:40s. Maze Gamer matching him at the moment.
The field is quite spread out at the minute. There's no real close fights other than Boostin and Nando at the minute are quite close, but other than that, it's quite spread out. So we'll see how everyone plans their pit stops. Are they going to do an extended pit stop like yourself, Andy, and pit at the last second, or are they going to try and think strategy and come in now and get some clear air? It's going to be interesting what people do, but at the minute we've only got Ian and Fury, the only ones to pitted so far, and DJ Phil.
I think in the GT3s it's a little bit different, because if you come in early and you've already made a pit stop, I think in the GT3s having pace over somebody else is a lot more decisive, whereas in cars like the touring cars and the Clios, it's very easy to get held up if you're behind somebody, regardless of how quick they are. You can easily defend. I think in these cars, it's I think if you've got maybe a lap over somebody else, you're pretty much going to be coming past regardless. So there's less of an emphasis on pitting late in these, I would say. You probably get away with coming in early and trying to come back through some traffic. We see DJ Phil there getting well out of the way of Gary. So he's putting a lap on. Gary flashing his lights there, saying thank you very much to Phil. But this man BT Targa still leading this race, and actually, Dan, I want to make a point. Maze Gamer looks like he's closing the gap to him, because last time around it was 7/10 quicker. Let's keep an eye on BT Targa's lap times here as he comes over the line to complete lap 10. Crosses over now, so it's a 1:40.6. Let's check out Maze Gamer's times, see if he's continuing to close that gap at the front. He is. 0.3 of a second he gained last time around, but I don't think that's going to be enough to catch him by the checkered flag.
Even if Maze Gamer gets past him, it's another race win for Maze Gamer, but a championship for BT Targa. So BT's probably not really too concerned about the race as such, but more thinking of the championship. So if he makes one mistake at all, he could be dropped right down, and then that's his championship win gone for this race, and he could have to then try and do it at the Circuit of the Americas. It would be nice for him to get it done and dusted now, and then he can really race hard at the Circuit of the Americas. But I don't think he's too concerned. Maze Gamer is gaining on him and gaining pace, but I don't think it's going to affect BT too much. And look in the comments, Fury's granddad says, "Careful boys, his mum is watching." And Simplay says, "Go for a DJ Phil strategy." So I think DJ Phil goes right to the end, I believe.
Yeah, it does look like it. He's been in already, so yeah, he's good to go. He's going to have to be careful. He's got some of the leaders coming through though. You see Nando and Boost in there in the background, just about to put a lap here on DJ Phil. I'm sure he will be very respectful of those blue flags, and there we go. Good job from DJ Phil, as always. Very courteous and respectful of the guys around him.
Yeah, and I'm just still looking through the comments now. From go here, careful, Fury's granddad, don't want to get in trouble with her.
I believe he's referring to Fury's mum there.
Yeah, I believe so. And Fury says, "Dan, you don't want to start." I don't know, mate. I'm not the one driving one-handed, so.
Maybe it's his mum typing.
I mean, I'm impressed that you can drive one-handed. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just trying to say the potential.
Fury's mum would be typing much nicer than that.
Oh yeah.
It would be a lot more grammatically correct.
Well spoken.
As you see, Maze Gamer here, currently closing the gap to BT Targa at the front. He's got it to under 5 seconds now, and he really is ragging that around at the moment in that Merc AMG. He's both driving in the Mercedes at the front, but BT Targa with the championship on the line. I'm sure he's not going to be pushing it as hard as he maybe could do. Definitely not his mum. She's at work.
What, in the petrol station?
Well, it's good to know that Fury's mum is, because we did see her commenting earlier on, so it's good to know that she's still checking us out and checking on her boy during the while she's at work. Fury's not had best of races though in his feature race, it must be said. He was up there at the beginning, but unfortunately a little collision with Ugbar dropped him back and pretty much out of the running here.
He's having a good race at the minute with Sim Race Train. I got it right that time. I got it right. But he's having a good little fight here. No, Sim Race, Andy. Sim Race. Come on. I thought you were a motive boy. Come on.
No, this guy's called Sim Play Train, and the league that
anyway,
the league that we all do on Wednesdays and Thursdays is called Sim. It's called Sim Race Motorsports.
Okay. Anyway, but Fury's having a good race with him at this minute. Only fight on track that's really happening. We're just constantly just keeping an eye on what people's lap times are doing, but no one seems to be going for the pits at the minute. So everyone's going for that long stint, I think, waiting for someone to react, I guess. But as we see Bertie and Gary.
Saying, I'm here even when I'm at work, and you've got to give her creds for that.
That's dedication.
His most loyal fan. Big shout out to Fury's mum tonight. Make sure that
and Grandad.
And Grandad as well.
I was going to say.
Make sure you drop a like on this video in honour of those two, if anything else.
I mean, if we in a minute we're going to end up starting a family feud between who's the most supportive of motive racing, Is he going to be Fury's mum or Fury's granddad? But both of them are always...
It's a difficult one, because obviously Fury's granddad is more consistently commenting, but then again, Fury's mum watches the streams while she's at work, which Fury's granddad, I don't know if he has that issue, but certainly you've got, they have their pros and cons, don't they, at the end of the day?
They do, I guess, and Fury's granddad...
Not pros and cons, I mean strong points.
Yeah, but Fury's granddad, no matter what, is here in every single race. I don't think I've not seen him.
That's what I mean. But Fury's mum's dedication is on next level, because she goes to work. She literally, we spoke to her, what was it, a couple of weeks ago when we were in that party chat.
Yeah.
She said that she has it on while she's at work. She has her phone on the counter. She's literally watching the streams, talking to the customers at her work about it. And that is what we want to see. That's what we want to see from our Motive fan base. At the end of the day, people like that is exactly the type of people that we want watching our videos and getting our content out there.
I mean, I'm not even that dedicated, so fair play to them. And I'm racing. But as we can see, I'm currently watching Bertie and Gary at the minute having a good fight here. Bertie just made a mistake into the hairpin.
Gary's losing it. Oh, we got Bertie here.
And Gary's gone down the inside.
Got that one done. Good stuff there from Gary. I also... On the stream end, Dan, we also just saw Fury losing the car. He was on the back of Simray's train, but he lost control, lost the back end a little bit. He didn't completely go round, but he lost a bit of time to him. But that's a good move there from Gary up in the final podium spot.
Yeah, I think he might have made a slight mistake, because we're talking about him and his granddad, his mum. So the more we talk about Fury, the more he gets in trouble. So Boris. Simple racing. Nice. And Matt, I did get it right. I said sim train. I didn't say sim play. I'm just gonna give up with it. But sim
train motorsport.
Train. Oh, I don't know no more. I don't know. I'm just gonna comment on Gary now and how amazing he's doing in his Porsche, because I don't know if I could drive one-legged.
I believe he's using both of his legs now. I don't know how much it's causing him agonising pain. Oh, as we see, Boosted almost running into the back of Opar there. And that's for 6th and 7th places. That was very close. Opar must have closed his eyes there as he turned in. But Boosted very much on the back of him now. I think Opar has actually made that move up into P9, P6 even. I don't know why I said P9 now. I must be tripping. But he's up into 6th place here in this race. As we're tripping already. 14 in this one. I know that. Don't tell everyone.
We're tripping already. Oh, wait until we get to LMP2. You're terrible at commenting on LMP2. Ian, you're gonna have to walk him through it.
Anyway, BT Tiger leading this race around. He's got 4.5 seconds at the front. The Maze Gamer is very much closing that gap at the moment. Last time around, Maze Gamer was 0.4 of a second faster than him. So this is very much race on. BT Tiger, we know he can wrap up the championship at this round here. So will he be going all out, or is he just going to try and limp home? Obviously, he only needs to finish in the top 3 to seal the deal.
Yeah, he just needs to come in the top 3, and at the minute he's got 18 seconds back to Gary. So if I was BT, I wouldn't fight Maze too hard. I'd be thinking of the championship. I know it'd be nice to take a win and take the championship together, but you want to get the championship done and dusted, don't you?
I think so, yeah. So we're seeing Fury's granddad saying, "Yep, me and my mum blame you."
His mum.
Sorry about that.
Fury's mum. Wait, are we blaming Andy or are we blaming me?
I mean, I think we're blaming me. Whoops.
Because, yeah.
Oh, right. So Simplay Motorsport says it's not hurting him as much as he thought.
I think that's Gary's and his legs.
Yeah, well, it's good to see Gary's obviously braving it out, which is incredibly impressive, because he must be in a bit of pain. Those of you guys who don't know, he actually did have a knee operation a couple of weeks ago, which he'll definitely be feeling the effects of it as he's driving. But he's got a few races in over these last couple of days. I've been playing Motorsport in the Pro Series. He took a double win in the?
I believe he took a double win at Monza.
He did take a double win, yeah. And the second race was even more impressive because he came from nowhere. We saw a last lap spin from the only G, which dropped him back, and then Gary made an absolutely unbelievable move on the final lap coming out of Parabolica to take that victory. It really was the most nail-biting of finishing, so he made the best possible return to racing, and he's currently sat on the podium here on his motor racing debut, so can't give Gary enough credit for how brave he is and really getting on with this despite he must be in a lot of pain.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm in a lot of pain after, and I got nothing wrong with me. So the man's a hero. I'm just trying to give myself excuses for why I drive so badly. So, but I know after a long stint, you do start to feel a little bit sore and achy, and after a knee surgery, I'm pretty sure you're going to feel really painful. So, simply put, yeah, just. Well, he's really repping you guys at the minute as he's sitting there up in the podium place, so he's really showing how good a driver he actually is, and he's got Bertie close behind him as well, but these two lapping consistently the same, but just notice Maze Gamer is now starting to lap in the 139, so he's starting to pick the pace up and try and bring that gap down to the leader, but it's quite a quiet race now, isn't it, Andy? There's just not a lot going on, everyone's just really spaced out.
Yeah, that's it. I think we're seeing Maze Gamer is still closing that gap to BT Targa at the front, and we could see this one developing into a bit of a battle later on, because it seems like Maze Gamer now within 2.7 seconds, so he's really getting that hammered down, as it looks like BT Targa, the race leader, is just coming up on some traffic, and we are seeing some rain on the camera lens here, ladies and gentlemen.
So is this what everyone's waiting for? Are they waiting for that rain to come? That's why no one's pitted.
Really light at the moment, but it could get heavier. So those guys who have been in will probably have to come in again. Obviously, the top 7 have all still yet to come into their mandatory pit stop. And it looks like Simrace Train also just pulling the trigger now, so he's coming into the pits. But all of the top 7 still need to come in for their mandatory. Those who have already been in also will be probably ruining their decision to come in, because guys like Ian, Fury, guys who usually prepare themselves pretty well for races, obviously didn't do their homework on the track conditions this time around, and we are seeing that very much at the moment. DJ Phil pulling the trigger, he's coming into the pits. What's going to happen?
I think Gary's pulled the pin as well, he's coming in, and so is Bertie. So, other than the top 2, the rest are in. It all depends on how heavy this rain's going to be. If the rain comes down really heavy, then these guys who are coming in for the wets will be benefiting. But if it comes out only light rain, then the guys at the front can just keep circling around and keep going and keep pumping in the laps. So we'll see how this pans out. Nando is in as well. Ugbar stays out, and so does Boostin as well. So these guys opt in to stay out and leave it a lap longer. But we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely, but yeah, I don't know if it's going to be the right decision for these guys to come in at this point, because the track's still pretty dry. It depends how quickly this rain comes down, but it seems to be a little bit... It seems like the clouds are definitely putting the brakes on at the moment, because it's not really coming down a whole lot. There's just a little bit of spitting on the camera lens, but the track, to me, looks pretty dry at this point. So I reckon these guys are going to be good for another couple of laps on these dry tyres. I suppose they don't want to be taking a risk of staying out just in case it does really start to come down. As we are seeing Maze Gamer, he's closed the gap to now under 2 seconds to BT Targa, and BT Targa's coming in. So Maze Gamer would surely be well advised to do the opposite. No, he doesn't. He's bringing it in as well. So the 2 leaders both pulling the trigger. Maze Gamer has been closing in on BT Targa at quite a rate over these last couple of laps, and he gained a lot of time in the pits there. You saw he was a lot later on the brakes, and he hasn't got a penalty for it, so he's obviously got away with it. As these guys come into their pit boxes now, BT Targa there stopping in his box. Maze Gamer continuing on to the end of the pit lane. Is the Flying Dutchman Ugbar going to pull the trigger this time around? He looks like he's struggling a little bit now. Maybe the track's starting to be a little bit damp out there. Surely he's going to come in.
The one we need to watch now is Gary. Where is Gary going to pop out? Because he was the first of the wet runners now. So will he manage to jump these two? I don't know. But BT Targa is now leaving his pit box. Maze Gamer still in his, but he comes straight out behind him. But we see Ugbar pits as well.
BT Targa maintaining P1, obviously that was crucial for him. He's leading this championship. He could wrap up the championship. He only needs to finish in the top 3 in order to do so. If Maze Gamer were to make the move on him and take the win, BT Targa would still be the GT3 champion here at Motive Racing for Season 5, with a round to spare as well. Last season we saw Timonovsky wrapping it up with a round to spare, the first driver to do that. BT Targa looking to be the second driver to have the championship done and dusted with 1 round left in the season.
We need to be careful what we say, Andy, because we don't really want to curse him right now, but at the minute he's doing everything he needs to do for that to happen. But Maze Gamer will be wanting another race win. Again, I think in this case BT should let him go. But Gary seems to have picked up a penalty. I'm not sure.
Could have been speeding in the pit lane, maybe.
Possibly. I'm just trying to have a look at the timers. He's got a 10-second penalty.
Speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, over on Simplay, they have a automatic pit lane. Here in Motive, we have a manual one, so it's very easy to get caught out by the pit lane. So,
well, the thing is, Dan, the speeding in the pit lane has actually got him ahead of Bertie. So, but obviously with that penalty,
he was already ahead of Bertie when he came into the pits. He was already ahead.
Yeah, right, so that will drop him behind Bertie. He's really shot himself in the foot here. Is Gary.
Nando and Fury having a fight.
Yeah.
Fury's having a good fight with Nando, so I'm not sure what Fury's running. I think he may have pitted and put the wets on, but he's giving Nando a run for his money. He's coming down to the heavy hairpin on the chicane braking zone, and looks like Nando defends. Fury looks to the outside. Will Nando outshoot himself? Nope. He goes a little bit too deep.
Fury's got it. Fury's got it.
Beautifully done by Fury. Well judged.
Swoops around him, coming through the middle part of the chicane, so that's a good move. Fantastic stuff there. We're seeing Maze Gamer now. He was gaining hand over fist on BT Targa in the dry, but now that we've got the wet conditions here, a little bit of water on the track, it looks like BT Targa very much in the ascendancy here. Seems to be handling the dampness out on track a lot better than Maze Gamer at this point. There's still 6 laps left to go here in this one. Anything can happen. I'm sure Maze Gamer is going to keep on it till the flag. Now, obviously, Maze Gamer with nothing to lose here in this one, having joined the championship midway through. And BT Targa very much just wants to make sure he keeps the car going and gets round and completes the race, because if he does finish in the top 3, he'll be the champion of the GT3s. As we see Ian coming into the pits again.
And Fury. Both of these guys have been in the pits once already and they're pitting again, so obviously they're going to be putting on that wet tyre. I honestly thought Fury was on the wets the way he overtook Nando, but obviously not, so he's making that pit stop now. But yeah, it looks like Maze Gamer just not have the pace compared to BT when it comes to the wet. I think BT has just got a little bit more of a stable setup that can help him just get around the circuit and in this wet conditions. But was he Ugbar was also trying to hunt down Boostin.
Yeah, absolutely. He's looking pretty close at the moment, but Maze Gamer losing time to BT Targa at the moment. Looks like BT Targa really excelling in these semi-wet conditions, where it looks like full wet now pretty much. And with 6 hours left to go, he can just bring this one home. Knows he hasn't really got a fight for this one. And we see Gary's got out of shape there coming into the ultimate corner. I just saw him getting back onto the throttle. He looked like he had a slow run coming through there. I don't know what happened to him, but he's currently sat in P3. He's got 5 seconds back to Bertie at the moment. But the thing is though, Gary switched to those wet tyres a lap earlier than everyone else. He would have had to drive round pretty much dry track on those wets, so they're going to be a little bit hotter than the others. Could this maybe have an effect later on in the race? It doesn't look like it at the moment though, because Bertie has just had a moment coming through the last corner. He's now 7 seconds behind Gary out on the track.
Well, at this stage, it looks like if Bertie can stay within 10 seconds of Gary, he will get his first podium, I believe.
That's true.
Gary's just probably trying to push himself that little bit harder so he can get into that 10-second gap to Bertie and keep hold of that 3rd place. But these guys always seem to be struggling a little bit. It's like they've all set their cars up for the dry, especially like some Maze Gamer and Bertie and all that lot. All seem to be just struggling a little bit. But
as we see Ogbar making a late move to the inside of Boostin, coming into turn 1, and he's managed to pull it off, but it looks like it got stuck together a little bit there. Boostin holds on to position, and these guys are getting engaged in a little battle of diplomacy there, and in the end Ogbar manages to get that position, but it looked like they were both trying to give each other the consideration there.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a situation. It was kind of a situation. Oh no, you first. No, sorry, you first. No, you first.
They both wanted to take responsibility for the incident. I feel like they both shouldered some of the guilt.
I'll just skip to Bertie, and he's really struggling at the minute. He just missed the chicane, but at the minute, Gary's extending that gap that he needs to keep hold of that third place, and Bertie really struggling this lap to keep the Bentley on track. He's got a decent gap to Nando at the minute, so he just needs to survive just to get a fourth place. But it looks like his podium chance.
Striking distance, though, Dan. I mean, he's
at the minute, yeah.
Oh, is he on the dry tyres still? It looks like that thing is going nowhere.
I don't know. He seems to be really struggling. Maybe he is staying on those hard dry tyres, but he's really losing out. But yeah, I don't know what's happening to that Bentley, but it's not performing as it should. But which helps Gary out. It means that he can extend that gap and pull away. So, at the minute,
but Gary's a bit of a rain master as well. We've seen from Simplay Motorsport over in the Pro Series on Thursday nights. He always goes well in these conditions.
He is currently lapping as one of the quickest. The only man lapping as consistent to him was Boostin and Ugbar. They were on similar lap times, but they had a lap where they were racing each other. But Gary, the only one in the 47s. But yeah, he's lapping much quicker than Bertie right now, and that's what he needs to do to keep hold to that third place. But BT Targa has pulled away from Maze Gamer now, and in these wet conditions, BT has got an edge over Maze, and it looks like he's going to hang on to that lead for now, before I curse him too much. But Maze Gamer just seems to be struggling in these wet conditions. Doesn't kind of suit him at this stage of the race.
It appears that it's just dropping off at the moment. He was gaining so much on BT Targa. I'm wondering, Dan, if possibly BT Targa had the car a little bit set up for these conditions, so that when the rain did come down, he would be prepared. Because Mace Gamer seems so much quicker than him in the dry, but BT Targa is now just driving away from him.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think Gary's the same as well. He wasn't very much in a straight line. The Porsche wasn't as quick as the likes of the Mercedes, but now he's in the wet. He's lapping much quicker than everyone else. So he's really set that car up beautifully for this race. So,
he's 3 seconds quicker than the top two last time around was Gary.
It shows how good Gary is in the wet. He really knows how to judge that Porsche in the wet. A 1:46.5. No one has been near the 46s in the wet. He's dropped from 23 seconds down to 19 seconds to the leaders. He's lapping much faster than everyone else.
He's on a mission at the moment, is Gary. If he can continue to lap 3 seconds a lap faster, he'll come up a bit short, but any mistakes from one of these two guys at the front, and we could see Gary very much in the hunt here. It would take a monumental capitulation from one of these two guys, though, BT Targa and Maze Gamer. I've seen stranger things happen in racing. Also, it looks like Maze Gamer has responded a little bit to BT Targa's wet pace, because last time around he was 2/10 quicker than BT Targa, but BT Targa seems to have responded on this lap so far. The gap at 4 seconds. Oh, I don't know. Maze Gamer goes a little bit deep, though, coming into the penultimate corner of the lap, and that's going to definitely play into BT Targa's hands as he's coming out.
Especially into Gary's hands as well. It's just a shame that Gary's got that 10-second penalty. If he hadn't had that 10-second penalty, he'd be catching these guys hand over fist. So it's such a shame he got that penalty, but at the minute, Maze Gamer is really struggling in this lap, and BT's just doing exactly what he needs to do. Lap consistently and stay nice and smooth. He's got a little bit of traffic of sim race train in front of him, but so far he's looking pretty. But Gary, again, bringing this gap down and down and down. BT Targa reacting to Gary's lap times, lapping a little bit quicker. But I don't think it's going to be enough for Gary to catch these guys on this lap. What does he do this lap? He does a
47.9.
Yeah, so he wasn't such a good lap that lap, but
still quicker, but just not as decisive as he was in previous laps. He's not really blowing these guys out of the water at this point. Maybe those wet tyres starting to feel a little bit of an effect now. But Maze Gamer last time around lost a second to BT Targa, so this man, the race leader, and very likely about to become the champion of the GT3. He's doing an excellent job here. He's just coming up, as you said a few moments ago, on Sim Race Train. Sim Race Train hasn't had the best of races tonight here at Fuji, he got a little bit, well, very unlucky with an incident in the opening couple of laps, which I'm sure there will be, and I hope there will be a stewards inquiry on that, because that looked absolutely ridiculous. There was a collision coming down the main straight at the start of the lap, so I do hope that somebody brings that to our attention and we can get that one sorted out, because we don't tolerate any of that. But BT Targa is just coming up on him to put a lap on him here, so BT Targa has a 3.8 second lead at the front. Is about to start the penultimate lap of this race here at Fuji. It started off dry. Most of this race has been in the dry, let's not forget. But the rain
I'm just looking back.
17.
Nando's made a move on Bertie, so Bertie now really struggling in that Bentley. Nando's gone past.
Bertie's going backwards. He must be on the slick tyres. He must be. I was going to say, the most of this race was in the dry conditions, and this man Mace Gamer was gaining on BT Targa in the, towards the mid part of this race, and then when the rain came down, BT Targa just seemed to have something that nobody else had, and since then he's ran off into the distance with this one.
Yeah, for sure, and I feel like in these wetter conditions, Gary seems to be the fastest man on the circuit. He does a 46 again, just shows him how quick he is out in these wet conditions. But Maze and BT Tiger already did the job where they just got in front and started running away with it. But all too little too late for Gary, I think, and also that penalty really doesn't help. But we see some of the Simplay boys, as Sutty and Beth and all that lot, really rooting him on and trying to push him to get as high as he can. But I feel like it's a little bit too little too late. Maybe the rain came a little bit too late for him. But BT Tiger really stomping this championship now and telling the guys, this is my championship.
Maze Gamer's lost it. Maze Gamer was trying to chase down the race leader. Absolutely done. It's been a hell of a performance from BT Targa, and it looks like his main threat, rival for this race win, has just lost control. We see in the background DJ Phil also losing control coming into the chicane. But I think this is very much still the deal here for BT Targa. Maze Gamer just getting a little bit too hot on the exit of the chicane, spinning the car around. He's now 7 seconds behind BT. Gary, to his credit, is sticking to the task. He is currently 16 seconds off of the leader. He's lapping so much faster than the BT Targa at this point, but it's going to be too little too late. Got a comment coming in from Sutty Apex voicing his support for Gary. Bethany Ann Duffin as well. We know that she's a big Gary fan. But we've got Gary just coming out to start the final lap of the race. Nando is in running in fourth. Good result from him in this one. Was second in the sprint race, so it's been... There's
a good fight for Ugbar and there's a good fight between Ugbar and Boostin right now. They're both battling hard. Boostin again, round two for these guys. Can they keep it cleaner than they did in the hairpin? But it looks like Ugbar's just got the advantage on this one. Got a little bit too close there, Boostin.
On the previous lap though, Danny, he lost 5 seconds to Boostin, so he must have made a mistake, or well, he's definitely not on the wrong tyres. You can just tell by the way he's driving that he seems to have got it together. Oh no, he's not going to be able to get that one done there. I reckon maybe Ugbar made a mistake and now he's started to pull back away again. I'm not sure.
I think, yeah, you're possibly right where Ugbar just made a slight mistake. But, yeah, it's been a better race for Ugbar. A little bit of incidents, but he's definitely come out better on this one. But as we see, BT Targa now coming into the final section of the track. Just put a lap on the sim race train. And he's coming around the final few corners. Not only just to win the final race here in Fuji, but to win possibly the championship as well.
Yeah, this man has driven absolutely faultlessly throughout the season. In terms of the race wins, he's taken 3 wins so far this season. This is going to be his 4th, but the consistency for him has been what's won him this championship. In the 10 races that we've had so far this season, he has taken podiums in 9 of them, and he's coming up to the line now to take not just the checker flag, but as you say, Dan, but also he's going to be the GT3 champion on Project Cars 2 for Motive Racing. What a performance from BT Targa. A dominant championship. Wraps it up with a round to spare. What a job here from him. Follows in the footsteps of Thorsten Borchardt, Ayrton Stefano, Timonovsky, and... Oh, this is really embarrassing.
I was going to say, I can't back you up on that one, but I'm just watching Mace Gamer across the line to take second place. And as well, we see Gary crossing the line. Fantastic race from Gary to finish in 3rd place. Even with that 10-second penalty, I think he should hold on to the podium easily. But brilliant drive there from Gary. Well done from him. And Mays Gamer really did well at the start, but he struggled in the wet conditions. As we see, I'm seeing now, watching Nando come around the final few corners of Ugbar as well, not far behind. But Nando comes across the line.
Guys, no, the reason why I forgot who the champion was because GT3 has only been running for 3 seasons. So Thorsten Borchardt, Szymanowski, and Stefano are now BT Targa, the 4th champion of Motive Racing's GT3 division. So a fantastic drive all season from him. We're going to see if we can get this man in the box. Quick chat after a great performance.
I've just noticed as well. Bertie is disconnected again, just at the end. That's unfair for Bertie. He disconnects on my screen. He's having a disco dance right now. But,
goodness, look at this. Yeah, Bertie's car is very much all over the place there. We are joined in the commentary box by our race winner and new champion of Motive Racing's GT3 division, BT Targa. What a race from yourself. You didn't need to take the win with Rumpu's early disconnection. A 3rd place would have done it for you, but how did it feel to put the icing on the cake with top spot on the podium as well?
I didn't think it was going to come that early, I must admit, especially in them treacherous conditions. That was hard work, really hard work. I could see like Maze Gamer was literally on my tail all the time, like putting lap in after lap. No, I'm well chuffed. I love that, and top championship to you guys and all that are out there that raced in it. It was brilliant. Really enjoyed it.
Massive congratulations to you for a fantastic season. Your consistency, 9 podiums out of 10 races so far. Still the final round at Kota to go, but a really solid performance, just faultless all season, really. We saw Maze Gamer was closing the gap in the dry, but as soon as the rain came down, you completely left him for dead. You seem to have a lot more grip in that car. Was that just down to the setup? Was the car set up with the rain in mind later on in the session, or was that just pure driver instinct?
I did put it in mind for the rain, so I notched the rear wing up a few notches for later on. That might give me a bit of more grip. Well, but to be honest, it felt like I was on ice skates on corners. It was good, but yeah, the car felt good all race really. I don't think I had the pace for him in the dry, but yeah, in the wet it seemed to work out in my favour and I seemed to get the grip where I needed it.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't have known that it was on. You wouldn't have known that it felt like it was on ice by the way you were driving. It was completely faultless the whole way through. Fantastic job.
Man. Thanks very
Congrats
much.
on the championship. Well done.
Cheers.
Well
really
done.
Enjoyed it, and big up to you guys for the organisation you do. Is fantastic. It's really top class.
Thank
all
you.
my family that watch it, and appreciate all your commentary and everything you set up and all the background stuff you set up is brilliant. So yeah, big up to you guys as well at Motive.
Thanks very much for your kind words there, BT Targa. So that's it for the race, guys. Dan, do you have any things you want to say before we go off quickly to the LMP2s?
I just want to say a big thank you to all the guys who have been watching. If you have been watching, hit the likes up button. Thank you to G and Andy for running this event again, and congratulations, BT. You are now GT3 champion. Cheers,
man. That was definitely not ever thought of when I entered it. That was for sure. So it's a real nice surprise, man, to be top of the podium. I really found my feet in this championship, and I really enjoy everyone on here and the competition. It's brilliant.
Will we see you fight? Will we see you try and defend your title next season?
Yeah, definitely. I just hopefully my work doesn't come into play because that does bother it sometimes. But I've been lucky so far. But I'd love to return and have good battles, with all you guys in the championship. Definitely.
Well, fingers crossed. We'll hope to see you next season. But
yeah,
thank you to all the guys who entered, and thank you to all the guys who are watching. We're now going to go over to LMP2. Stick around so we can do that as well.
See you in a moment, guys.
Cheers again. Thanks.